The Ghana Italy News Network. Our world, our stories from our perspective. Please subscribe or sponsor or advertise with us on YouTube, Facebook, or at ghanamuntianews@yahoo.com. Subscribe or order your monthly newspaper, the Ghana Italy News Network, from ghanamuntianews@yahoo.com for a price of only €1. The Ghana Italy News Network, available in all African churches and in all African shops.
Che parte dall'assistenza informativa, l'assistenza al viaggio addirittura e attraverso assistenza sanitaria.
Recently, the pressure has been from many social workers whose first response to whoever seeks their help is to advise you to go back to your country. Well, some weeks ago, the rumors was that some of our own leaders were advising Ghanaians to take this €300 offer and go back to Ghana if things were getting back for them. Thus, I inquired from the president of the Ghana Association in Brescia, and he confirmed to me that a few meetings had gone on with the Italian department of the NIRVA networking for assisted voluntary repatriation. Minister Amo said that all the associations in Italy disagreed to the offers proposed by NIRVA, which was to buy a one-way ticket for the interested candidate, and then upon his arrival in Ghana, be given €300 to start with a small-scale business. He also added that those who tried it complained bitterly that upon their arrival in Ghana, the bribes asked before they could take their money was even more than the money itself, and as such, deeply regretted accepting the proposal. This is because whoever accepts this money cannot return to Italy again. Pastor Baini of the Christ Temple Church, on the other hand, felt that there were those who may want to go home for good without having money, and thus these might want to accept the proposal. He also added that negotiations should be made with the Italian department to offer the money to the applicants in Italy. The president of the Ghana Association in Brescia also told me that a meeting is scheduled between all the association leaders and the ambassador in Rome concerning the issue, and that details will be given upon their return. As far as I know, building a house back home in Ghana was one of the priorities of Ghanaians in Italy back in the 90s, and many were able to accomplish this goal. There is therefore not a matter of not having anywhere to go, but the sense of wasted years. It is a pity to hear that a person who has lived and worked in Italy and contributed to the socio-economic and religious growth of the country has been repaid in this manner. The NIRVA project is not an Italian thing, but an European Union project in collaborations with Italy's Interior Ministry. If a house were like a box, each would have carried theirs here and would not have been going through this eviction plague. EDAN NTSI ADAKA ampa. On the 21st of March 2012, a 54-year-old Italian teacher who was arrested and imprisoned on charges of maltreatment of some third grade students of the institute where she also teaches was finally granted house arrest. The teacher has chosen to remain silent. This takes me to the issue of corporal punishment, etc., in some of the Ghanaian communities and Ghanaian homes here in Italy. As most of us are aware by now, corporal punishment is not allowed on minors in Italy, and perpetrators are dealt with accordingly. Unfortunately, this keeps going on without restraint, and any time one is involved in the issue, our lamentation is this, quote, "These people are racist," unquote. Others also complain saying, quote, "We are Ghanaians and this is what we do," unquote. But a survey conducted in 4 districts of the country, Ghana, by the Campaign for Female Education, an NGO, indicates that 94% of Ghanaian parents endorse corporal punishment as means of correcting misbehaving students. Disciplining young children is one of the key jobs of any parent. Most people would have no trouble agreeing that, but whether or not that discipline should include spanking or other forms of corporal punishment is a far thicker issue. Led by Catherine Taylor, the Tulane study was the first to control simultaneously for variables that are most likely to confound the association between spanking and later aggressive behavior. The researchers accounted for factors such as acts of neglect by the mother, violence or aggression between the parents, maternal stress and depression, the mother's use of alcohol and drugs, and even whether the mother considered abortion while pregnant with a child. Each of these factors contributed to children's aggressive behavior at age 5, but they could not explain all of the violent tendencies at that age. Further, the positive connections between spanking and aggression remain strong even after these factors had been accounted for. The Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice has advised the Ghana Education Service to put in place mechanisms to ensure strict supervision and compliance with its policy on corporal punishment in schools. It said although many countries had recognized the harmful effects of the practice and had abolished it, Ghana still maintains caning as the main form of corporal punishment in our schools, where teachers freely wield canes. Presenting the highlights of the 2011 CHRAJ report on the state on human rights in Ghana, the CHRAJ Commissioner, Ms. Loretta Vivienne Lamte, said, quote, "During the period under review, the Commission found out that the GES policy on corporal punishment was not respected," adding that it was evident that the majority of teachers was abusing it, thereby injuring pupils in the process. She said Chirac had had the occasion to recommend the corporal punishment be discontinued in schools, and that until that was done, the Commission recommended that the GES should put in place mechanisms to ensure strict supervision and compliance with that policy. Therefore, for those who strongly believe in corporal punishment and support it with biblical quotations, it would be good to know that the whip was originally meant for the back of animals, and then cruelty turned it on the back of slaves and fools. But children are children, they are immature, and not fools. If there are any ways we can protect the migrant-born child in this land from being taken away from their parents, then this shall be one of the first to cease. Spanking with a hand, belt, or a cane remain a strong predictor amongst obvious factors that may influence violent behavior in children. For children to understand what and why they have done something wrong, it may take repeated efforts on the parents' part. Using timeouts, a strategy that typically involves denying the child any attention, praise, or interaction with parents for a specified period of time. These quiet times force children to calm down and learn to think about their emotions rather than acting out on them blindly. Spanking may stop a child from misbehaving in the short term, but it becomes less and less effective with repeated use, according to the AAP. It also makes discipline more difficult as the child gets older and outgrows spanking.
The antecedent of culture dates back for centuries, and one has to look at Greek civilization to see how it all began. Ghana, culture plays a pivotal role in the sustenance of our society, and several ethnic groups have over hundreds of years tried to maintain their beliefs and customs. Culture has several meanings. These include the qualities of a society, families, or even individuals regarded as excellent. It is an inherent quality in the arts, manners, or the development and improvement of the mind through constant training. In short, culture can be said to be a state of mind. The challenge, however, for many is how to maintain and improve upon the quality of that culture. Art pieces from some of the world's best-known artists, Michelangelo, Raphael, Van Gogh, have been kept in pristine condition for hundreds of years. Can Ghana boast of such historical works of its own? Many ethnic groups have preserved many artifacts, but as a nation, what are some of the treasures we have kept? The National Museum is meant to house these treasures, but the story is somehow different. The only visible treasures are the forts and castles. These tell a different story, a story of pain and a story of gloom. This is the history of our nation. The new generation of Ghanaians do not want to be associated with. How does one liken a slave castle to the seat of government, for instance? Ghanaian artists like Kofi Antobam, Saka Kwe, and Ablade Glover have sold their works all over the world, yet they are relatively unknown in their own country. The story is no different in other areas of our traditions and customs. Take, for instance, Ghanaian ethnic dances. How many of us can dance Adwa or even Banlugo? Try asking this generation to dance any of these and you will be mocked at. Nevertheless, the Azonto dance as well as others are sweeping through the country like wildfire.
Right now, Azonto is the craze. If you can't dance Azonto like me, then you are lost.
Even the food we eat has changed. Our taste buds crave for fast food such as French fries, fried rice, noodles, and so on.
I would go for the pizza instead of the fufu.
The more traditional foods are still popular, but have to struggle to compete with influences from other cultures. The most telling on our culture is the clothes we wear. Traditional fabric has been confined to a single day of the week, Fridays, so we call them Friday wear.
Especially on Mondays that you need to look more official. So I think it's better you wear the Western one.
Today, even our names bear a different hallmark. Our traditional names are lost and replaced with make-believe names, make-up names that point many of us in the direction of Russia, Ukraine, Greenland, or even New Zealand. Can we do anything to change the situation we find ourselves in, or should we keep the wheel turning in the direction of mixed-bag cultures? Our ancestors may be turning in their graves. GINN.